Welcome back to Relics of the Past. We're back on the main storyline. And today, hope you all enjoyed our Halloween special. I am gathered by the usual crew of Goblin,
Hello, everybody. Job on two! Yes, you. Hi, from the two of us.
Siren,
Hello everyone, Estrella here. Nice to see all of you again.
Viking,
Michaeleen of Kidala, and hopefully, I'm a little bit more audible now.
and the two brothers, Nate and Dare.
Evil.
These experiments aren't fucking working. Hello, everybody. It's
We're
good to see
barely
you
a
all
minute
again.
into the video.
Don't worry, he will bleep it out.
I'll have to
Mhm.
fix that again.
And unfortunately, Eiko's player and stuff had surprise.
Real world problem.
Yes, real world problem.
Ain't life kind of a B word?
Yes,
I
B
think
word,
Deed is
C
a
word,
bitch.
D word, and all the other words. But besides from that, let's play some fucking D&D.
Today's word is...
Today's word is
Oh, my ears!
My, what an
Sorry.
extensive vocabulary.
that was more of a sentence, wasn't it?
It's the only word that has like 100 different meanings.
Okay,
Well,
kids, say it with me.
Okay.
Warning: this content is not for children. Please do not let your child
Clearly
watch
not.
this.
And
All
it's
right,
not
let's
for
get
Anyone
a
under the age-
really quick recap of last session. Mr. Dieb.
I fucked a monster.
Well, not a monster.
Well, that's one
but-
kind of recap.
Okay, well, last session you guys made it to Kidala.
Ravnica.
I'm sorry, I've been
You
confusing the
beyond
two
time,
recently.
Damn it.
It's only
Anyway.
part of my name.
Anyway, so last session, the party made it to Kidala. I had a bit of a run-in with the town guard, but again, when you park a giant flying ship with four large guns on it, it tends to draw a crowd. Town's guard came out, they talked, and
Look,
They
it's not
talked
my
and
fault
were-
that they're intimidated by the size of it.
Sorry, we don't have
Eh.
anything we got to compensate for.
They realized who exactly I was.
I'm sorry, to what Abe and Kain just said stuff. That's what she said.
No one was going there but you. Shame. for
Sorry,
shame.
I'm sorry.
We need a button so we can shame the DM.
All right.
No.
every-
Give me a
everyone,
second.
hold
I
on.
can see him.
On the count of three, we all say shame, and then Abe will make it a soundbite. 3, 2, 1.
Shame.
Shame him.
For shame!
Shame.
There we go.
For shame!
Why are you putting bunny ears on? That's just making it worse.
Those are my bunny
Because he's a
ears!
fucking masochist, that's why.
Those are my bunny ears! Get those back!
I'm
For
sorry.
those
I
of you
tried-
watching at home, our GM has just yoinked his sister's Playboy bunny ears and put them on himself.
Please hope he never puts the suit on.
If you're gonna
Oh,
yoink
God.
my bunny...
When we last left off the campaign, everyone made it to Kidala. Big war the ship came in, scared the crap out of the local guards and fauna. They came out, they talked. After saying, move your ship out 100 miles out, or whatever, or a mile out, whatever. Our ship got moved out, they went inside. They started exploring, visiting, going through the various rings. Ended up coming to the guild hall, all of the Order of Aethor, or ends up visiting and stuff, meeting up an old friend and basically last living family member of Michaeleen's, of Captain Captain Amelia Eris.
N-
Or Eris
that's,
Amelia.
that's absolutely wrong. It's Eris Valheim.
Valheim. My apologies. Anyway, after
You called her Amelia Earhart.
What?
Eris. Not Earhart, Eris. Whatever. Whatever, my
I'm
memory's
gonna
a little
call
shite.
her
Want me
later.
to bean it? Want me to bean him with some milk chocolate squares?
No, just beat him with
Anyway. And anyway, besides from that, at
Last I remember, we were waking up after the dream, and I had a cap with
okay.
me.
You got action.
Okay. So, all of you collectively wake up in various rooms. The party looks around and you see that two of your party members are missing. You see Eiko's nowhere to be seen. You do find his bed completely made military style in a sense, very well made, with a small bit of parchment on it. And you also you never saw Nate after he kind of disappeared. Here at least. I don't know where he's
roll
currently
to
at.
see if Michaeleen has another nightmare from coming back home and seeing all these familiar sights?
I'm gonna say no right now.
Okay.
Aww.
Put it this way,
But trauma.
And
Michaeleen,
comfort! Canary comfort!
Michaeleen, you had a lot of booze last night. You slept like a rock.
Yeah.
Your dream was trippy.
Yes.
That
Possibly
was the
fan
weirdest
servicey.
dream that I've ever had.
Melons.
Anyway, Abe, being Abe, drank a good amount, but he did not sleep. He merely just sat at the table that was inside the room, going over papers, blueprints, diagrams, and was getting confuzzled on something, at least.
Being a nerd. I'm kidding.
Some of the shit just isn't adding up properly.
As you hear other people begin to wake up, actually, Dare, I have a question. Would you have been too engrossed in your work to notice Eiko leave, or you heard him leave, but you never looked or messed with it and just continued with his work? Which do you think your character would be more?
Abe is kind of always aware of his surroundings, so he definitely would have heard Ayako leave.
Okay.
He wouldn't have cared.
Yeah. Eiko, I'm gonna say all you really heard is just him get up, grumble, like not even verbal words, at least. Just grumble, proceed to fold his bed, you hear him scribble something down, and just door closed. That's it. And thing there. So you start hearing other people wake up. How did your character react to this?
Abe is going to pretty much not change what he's doing. He's still looking at over blueprints and paperwork. He is going to take one journal that is out and has a lot written into it as of this moment. He's going to close it up, tie it, lock it, and put it back into his coat. And continue with the other papers.
Wait, so you just grab his note and shove it in your pocket?
Yeah, I'm grabbing one of the notebooks, closing it up, so that no one else can read it, and putting it in my pocket.
Oh, notebooks. Okay. Okay. Goblin.
Store.
Hello.
So, so you're not gonna react at all to people waking up at all.
No, not really.
Okay.
My reaction was putting the book away.
Okay. So basically the only two people in this room at the moment is Jawbone, Michaeleen, and Estrella.
I thought we were waking up out of our bedrooms that was provided by the order.
I thought
We were supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause that's where we left off last session. Was we were waking up.
okay. I
Unless you're
presume the
just
guild hall.
skipping the part where they all leave the bedrooms.
Can we say group like big group rooms that can hold 2 people apiece? Or like
Sure. Why
What
not?
does that matter what the sleeping arrangements were? There's
So I just
there's always a common room.
I know. Well, the idea I was thinking at least was basically just a big room with like a couple beds in it, like enough to hold like 6, like 4, 6 people,
A
and everyone
military barracks?
something kind of like that. But we can do separate rooms, so 3 rooms altogether with a full party. So okay, so Jawbone, you wake up, you don't see. Actually, yeah. Nate, Kain was supposed to join your character, but he never showed up. You just went to bed. Estrella, Michaeleen, you two bunked together, and then Kain bunked with Eiko. There you go. That makes logical. That makes storyteller sense and all that. So all of you collectively wake up, and okay then. So now we go along the thing. So Michaeleen, Estrella, what are your characters doing?
Estrella is kind of after washing her face, she's kind of preening her feathers a little bit, so she's kind of plucking out some strays and kind of
Gotcha.
slipping them in her pocket.
Michaeleen
She's
is
in her
getting
fairy form.
Michaeleen is getting ready for the day, strapping on his sword, getting all of his things together, and just sort of mentally preparing for what he's about to go and do in the early morning before he has to be tested by Commander Valheim.
Oh, see.
Did you sleep well, Michaeleen?
As well as I can have. I had a lot on my mind. Sort of a weird dream last night as well.
What'd you dream about?
I think it was something about a sailing ship, but I can't quite remember.
You were drinking a lot.
I have something to take care of.
May I accompany you?
Might as well.
All right.
Okay.
Cut over to what Abe or what Kane's doing or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm waking up. I got sailor
Ah.
cap on.
Okay. So, okay. Kain, when you awake, you see that you are in a very large bed. The bed itself seems to be very made of very high quality, and the bed sheets seem to be messy, kind of a bit all over the place, and yeah.
There's some. I'm pretty sure that the top blanket would probably be a bear skin.
No, that's the rug she has in the middle of the room.
That's probably a little messed up too.
Oh no, the bear rug has seen lots of action over the years. It's seasoned. But
That
and
is not how
when
you
you
want to describe furniture.
It's a little spicy if you catch.
anyway, and
It's really caked on there with some substances.
okay.
It's been cleaned.
But Kain,
I meant to the
when you
floor.
wake up though, when you wake up at least in this very large bed, you see various decorations at least, and you see that you're alone in this room at least.
Fuck.
And
Can I roll performance?
Oh, he wants to know
that
how well he did.
2.
That one.
How
That is a 19 on the die. What am I adding to it, Coach?
performance?
Performance.
Oh,
Man, I
wait,
thought
wait,
you would
wait,
do
wait.
like stamina or something.
No, no, no. Wait.
There is no stamina strat.
Wait.
No, there is
Wait,
performance.
how big did we set? Okay, so Kain, how big are you?
I am 6'7".
And if I remember correctly,
Eris is at least 8.
And if
foot.
you remember,
no.
my body is made. I choose how
No,
big
wait.
whatever I want my body to be.
One moment. If I'm correct, Eris is 7'5", correct?
Yeah, we made her 7'5".
Yes. Due to her being physically bigger than you, I need you to roll me a Constitution check as well.
To see how hurt you are.
Constitution. Okay.
Congratulations.
Let me re-roll that. It landed on my keyboard.
Congratulations. You've died like all the men who
17
visited
plus
the
a 3,
planet.
so that's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Can I
I'll
finish my
say-
joke? Can I finish my joke?
What's your
Congratu-
joke?
Congratulations. You've just died the way all men do who
Death
visit
by Snoo!
Death by snoo. Death by
Death
snoo.
by snoo. Death by snoo.
No, I wake up. Congratulations, you're a father. Oh no.
Achievement
You
unlocked. Fatherhood.
About that, Kain. Mr. DM, would you care to tell him how old she is?
No.
Agent!
No. No.
What is that?
Women
Not
age like
yet.
fine wine. The older, the better. Until you
Not
get to, like
yet. Not fucking yet.
Oh no.
Okay.
I know where that's going. Oh no.
she's probably a few centuries old.
Probably.
Anyway, Michaeleen, stop it, you rascal.
Oh,
Anyway,
what am I adding to the performance check?
okay. The performance check is literally performance.
No, it's not that kind of performance.
No, you use performance still.
Oh,
That's what I'm
okay.
saying.
That
Performance is performance.
is
I mean,
That's
you
a
had to
24.
perform.
that's a 24.
24. Okay.
Wait, hold on. That might go up. Hold on, I forgot. Something gives me a +3 now to crit. Wait, no, I got that after.
Yeah, you got that
What about your
after.
Constitution save?
Oh, that was a dirty 20.
30-20. Okay.
Gotcha.
So collectively, you believe that you performed fairly well. Your body is
Fairly
full.
well. I got a 24.
Again, you barely remember the night.
Status, my pelvis is okay.
Be like, hey, my pelvis is intact.
Balls are empty. Think things went well.
Yeah.
Ma.
Yeah. So put simply and stuff. Your body
Time
is
out. I'd like
light-
to say I feel bad for your sister sometimes because there's 5 dudes. 5 dudes. And then just her. Well, 6 dudes actually, but
Wait, how many?
she has to deal with all of our shit. There's Frozen.
Anyway.
Frozen and with the most evil look in his.
Somebody grab a screenshot of that face.
We should all make the exact same face.
I can't do that. I don't have a webcam.
I can't even see the face.
But that's funny.
Yep.
There's just froze. We probably need to wait till he's back because he.
Yeah, probably. Somebody
I can hear you the whole time.
Because we can't hear him either.
I wish to make the
Oh, there
you go.
There we go.
You guys couldn't hear me. I
Okay.
could hear you the whole time. What face was I making?
Mischievous.
That exact.
I'm sorry. I love how he said, what
I don't
face
know.
am I making? Me, Michaeleen, Ian, and Kain on the spot. Like in sync.
And then he goes back to making it.
Yep.
Okay.
Hold on, I'm blowing my nose.
Fuck you.
Mute.
Okay. I'm gonna simply speed run a little bit before I want your reaction. So, your body, you believe you performed very well last night. Your body is lightly sore. Particularly down south is a bit more sore, but overall not that bad. And you think everything went rather well. But you're the only person in the room that you can tell, at least. And in this room, there is a door directly in front of the bed, Ed, and then a small another door to the side. And stuff.
How
And
many
then, I
Bart
guess-
marks are there? That's the question.
And the
That's how
question
you
is,
truly
where
know
are
if you
the
did
bite
well.
marks?
That too.
That is very
That's how you
true.
know if you did
How
well
many
or not.
marks were left? That's the real question.
3.
Oh, that's That's a poor performance, man. Sorry about
Yeah,
that.
there would definitely have to be more than 3.
That's a pretty poor performance. Remember, we're asking a virgin how many
Unless
bite
there's
marks and
just
stuff
3
there is.
that I can see.
Yeah, we'll go with that. 3 that you can see, obviously.
The rest of me, just my back is incredibly sore and burning.
I'm sorry, okay? I have no experience on the whole thing, okay? I wish I had a lady folk. Oh, I wish, but I don't.
Kain, you wake up with your pelvis slightly hurting from the pressure from the night before, with your back
You can-
burning from the scratches. You can feel a little, almost like there's dried blood on the back, as you performed pretty well. You look in the mirror and you notice that there's hickeys all over your throat, as well as a couple bite marks on your shoulders.
Yeah, that's how you do it.
Bite marks on the
Level
nipples.
0, level 100. There's a big difference between us.
Hold
I'd
on,
be
hold
probably
on,
a level
hold on.
50.
All right, level 0, level 127.
You're welcome.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, because body
And
or higher. I don't remember.
anyway, so Zen, what do you do reacting to this knowledge?
I'm gonna do one of the stretches.
For those of you at home, the player who plays Kain just did a Jesus pose.
Or laying on
One of the ones
bed.
where like your body's shaking.
Okay, good.
I'm gonna get up, look around, realize I'm not wearing pants. Be like,
You need to put some
this is a
on.
good morning. I got a sailor's cap on. That's it.
Might want to find your clothes.
I'm gonna look
Can't-
around. I'm gonna
Can't
look
you
around
just
for my
manifest
clothes.
some new ones out of shadow?
I mean, I can't just kind of make shadows cover, but
If he needs
nah, I'm
to.
gonna walk around looking for my
Okay.
clothes, just thing hanging out, waving.
Okay, I'll say this: when you wake up, actually, you do feel that there's something on your chest, and you see that this interesting-looking sailor's cap. That's how you found out about that. You tossed it on, feel a bit more charismatic now. As you look around, you see that your clothes are strewn about the bedroom. Unfortunately, though, from what you can see, your underwear kind of got destroyed.
That's fine.
You're just going to. You need to air them out anyway after the long, passionate, quite frightening night you had last night. You just need to let them breathe.
After closer
I
inspection,
gotta
of
let
your-
my
of your-
boys breathe. They worked hard.
After closer inspection of your undergarments, you realize that the crotch is ripped off.
Souvenir.
Undies disintegrated.
I will hang this up as a pride.
Anyway,
It's not yours.
Oh,
You should be hanging.
that's what you're
True.
doing.
I will keep
Okay.
looking around. See
Okay,
the
okay,
results
okay.
of what I did.
Okay.
So
No more banshee on Prozac, I mean it. I'm sorry.
Do I find any other ripped garments of her?
not that you can see. You look around the room, and from what you can see, at least nothing. Like you see
Damn.
nothing.
I got no souvenirs. Oh, maybe I left her with one.
I think you left her with more than one.
Anyway, so then, Jawbone, you wake up, and you see that the bed that was supposed to be for Kain is untouched. What would you like to do?
I would like to do some stretches and then do a like Mr. Incredible workout with the furniture.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm just like lifting barrels or whatever piece of furniture and just using that to
Oh
flex.
my gosh.
Early
Okay.
morning, work the muscle.
Okay.
I'm gonna look
Mi-
for Amelia for another early morning workout.
Eris.
Eris,
Wake
whatever.
up, crack a dawn, do 27,000 rip curls. Yeah, I'm ready.
Anyway, after that, Michaeleen and Estrella, you get yourself ready for the day and proceed to close your door and head out. You walk, Michaeleen, you walk by Abe's door and just feel you should check in just to see how things are going.
Abe, are you in there?
Fuck.
Okay, but
Is everything all right in there?
Abe's gonna open the door and look at him. Everything's fine. Why?
I heard you say, well, yell mostly. Well, fuck.
Oh,
That's no.
it's a new project I'm working on. It's the math isn't mathing. If that makes any small sense to you.
Maybe you could take your problem to the engineers of the Order of Aethor. They're the ones who develop a lot of the, well, weaponry and other things used by the Order to fight some of the more dangerous monsters out there. I think that they might be able to help you.
Do they have monster parts?
This is the Order of Aethor. Of course there are monster parts.
Would they have rare ones?
It's the Order of Aethor.
Can't find it here. You can't find it.
If you can't find a rare monster part here, there's probably nowhere else you can find them.
Good to know. If what I'm thinking about is right, then I know exactly what I may need. Hopefully they have it.
Though, one thing though, the branch of the Order that the engineers occupy, they're very secretive, as a lot of their stuff is from before the collapse. To really get into it, you may need to join up. It's fairly simple for an engineer, but if you want to become a hunter, there are certain tests you have to take. There are plenty who are part of both branches.
I don't know that I'll need to join up, seeing as how I'm from before the collapse. So we'll see.
Michaeleen, as you're
Wait,
looking into
hold
his
on. Time
room,
out. I thought you already talked to him last episode about
Yeah, he did.
yeah
Something about
him joining.
possibly joining up, and he was sort of a little bit on board at first, but he might have been a little drunk before doing that massive Kamehameha wave into the air to silver up.
It's quite possible.
yeah. So, Michaeleen, as you're talking to him and stuff, you do see that Aiko's bed is perfectly well made and that there's a piece of paper on it. A folded piece of paper.
Where did Eiko get off to?
Oh, he's been gone since around, I'd say, midnight.
Early mornish. Or early morning.
I'd say he's been gone since around, I don't know, 3 or 4.
Right. Well, I'm sort of just distracting myself from the thing that I have to go and take care of today. It won't be easy for me. But
Do you know what you'll have to do?
it's something I should have done 10 years ago.
Well, you know all of us are here to help if we can.
I know.
Even if it's just more support.
I know. Estrella has offered to join me for today. I will meet you back here. You should really talk to the engineers.
I plan to. Thank you.
And Michaeleen and I suppose Estrella. Is Estrella following me?
Yes, she is.
Estrella's Michaeleen and Estrella are gonna head off to the inner city.
Okay. As you guys proceed to start making your way down, you make it to the main hall, and you see its usual business. Breakfast is being served out, drinks are being had, merriment, and just overall just a good thing.
When people
I
see Michaeleen, is there like a
love the tiny
collective?
sword. Love the tiny sword there.
When people see Michaeleen, is there a
Your
collective,
mouthpiece.
like greeting to him?
Yeah. A lot of people and stuff are kind of taking time as you're walking by, like, welcome back, Michaeleen, pats on the back, handing, and kind of like this like star football player and stuff walking through high school after being gone for like a week.
One man slaps
Being
your
sick.
ass.
I don't like that. Don't ever do that again.
The guy's already gone. It was a drive-by slapping.
Mama.
Okay.
Anyway, so you proceed to make your way out, and I will say this: you hear the voice of a certain tabaxi, actually, from the top rafters and stuff. He pretty much just says your name and Michaeleen.
Thadwick, it has been a while.
It has.
Learned your lesson, though?
Fuck you.
Same to you.
Hey.
Yeah.
Well, I'll meet you at the spot sometime to talk. You know exactly what that means. He wants to spar with you. Ooh, to take again, put this way, he wants to fight you.
Is he a spellblade? Basically, is he a class that can cast magic and use a blade as well?
Anyway, and you did know this, so you do know this and stuff. Originally, before he got caught, he was a bit more of like knife and spellblade, but more dagger. After he got caught, he started switching to more longsword spellblade, but now he switched to full on dual bladed fencing in the sense. So longsword or fencing weapon in the other, short to dagger in the other, and full proper fence. So he dropped the magic and is going more melee.
All right. Well, Michaeleen's going to head out of the order hall with Estrella in tow. Estrella, what is your thoughts on the exchange that they just had?
Well, so are you actually going to fight him?
No, you don't know that. You don't know that. All you know is he wants to talk
Meet
to
with
him
him.
meet with him.
Oh, so what was that about?
Oh, just someone who made a mistake in his past. Is paying for it even as we speak. I may or may not be the one who exposed his mistake, and he may or may not be salty about it.
He did sound pretty salty. Actually reminded me of you. A little.
Don't compare me to him. The thing he did was... I don't want to say unforgivable, because people change after a long time. But it was hard to accept that he wasn't fully kicked out for the thing he did.
Ah.
Anyway,
Mm.
we're going to the inner city. That is but I have to take care of things.
Where
about
exactly?
that.
It's okay. Where exactly in the inner city are we going?
Home. I need to go home.
As okay, above board, I have a question. Is it okay if I just focus on the whole Micheleen thing so we can get that going? Or anyone else put it this way? Does anyone else have anything else they want to do or reactions?
I just need to let Mama out really quick.
Only
She's
thing I
going
want to do is
I-
hit on Eris more.
In the
Arizona.
meantime,
Yeah.
job bonus is working out. Yeah, I'm perfectly fine with the focus on Micheleen. Not a
Okay.
problem for me.
Okay, I just want to double check everything and stuff. So, Micheleen, Estrella, as you proceed to make
In
your
the
way
meantime,
out, so as you guys make your way out of the guild hall, you begin traveling through the city. The merchants of all collectively gone set it up their booths for the day and have started selling goods and various things. Business is a bit slow right now due to being early morning. It's about 6 a.m. at the moment. The sun has risen up, but it's not reached its full climax yet.
Is there a booth selling flowers?
You walk by about 2 dozen booths, and by the 13th one you find it is it's a small apothecary shop, but it's selling small ounce of just decorative flowers along with all the herbal ingredients it has.
Michelin's going to go up to this booth and place down a silver.
A bouquet of roses, please.
Yes, sir. Or as the lupine and this dog person proceed to get the flowers and start bundling them up and trimming. I mean, um, she the she gets them all bound together and stuff with the paper. Any particular ribbon color?
Black.
Uh, Proceeds to tie a black ribbon on it and adds a few somber supplementary flowers and stuff or do you just want straight roses?
They were her favorite.
Okay. Straight roses. All set up. I'm gonna say about 7 roses altogether. Bundled up. As you
Thank you.
proceed to anyway. As you proceed to get the flowers, you guys proceed to the inner city. You see various things, various people traveling throughout, but the somewhat normal, slightly joyous air of the city, for some reason, for you, Micheleen, just almost as if it doesn't exist. As you get closer to the gate that leads into the next to the inner city, it it feels like each footstep is filled with lead. That you're having difficulty almost picking up your own feet as you get closer and closer to the gate. Once you do, you're kind of stopped because you know once you get here, you're basically home. So-
Real quick.
Michelin's
Sorry, I just have to interrupt. I have to step away for a moment. I'm going to leave my headset on so I can still hear everything, but don't try to do anything with Abe right now.
Okay.
Gotcha.
All right?
Micheline is going to stand in front of the gate, take a deep, shuddering breath, and look up to where the rather large orphanage used to stand and see just empty sky. It's gone. In its place, a big pillar with names on it. As he looks to Estrella.
Well, we're here.
Estrella?
She looks at the ruins of the building, and she says, I know this is all that's left, but it was a really wonderful place. I can tell.
He's going to open the gate and walk over to the big pillar and put his hand on it and look at all the names of the children that were lost. And at the very bottom, he's going to see in bold, in loving memory of the woman who brought so much joy to Kidala. We'll miss you, Milia. As Michaeleen looks over to the right to see quite a large amount of flowers strewn around a stump with jagged edges and a partially exposed root system. As he walks over and kneels down in front of it. Little Milia, your boy has come home.
Have you touched? Did you touch the stump at all in memory?
No, not yet. He still has some things to say.
Mm.
I'm sorry I haven't been back in 10 years. I know that we used to come every year to pay our respects, but yeah, I failed them. I was their elder brother, and I failed them. I failed Gareth, a shard, a Bendigo, or Viti. I promise to you, I will find the man who took them from us, took you from me. I'll not rest until. As he lets his head hang down and his hand, he puts the bouquet of roses at the base of the stump. And he slowly puts his hand onto the stump as tears run down his cheeks.
As you just kneel there, you feel the wood as it's dried, as the weather has rotted it out. But as you touch it, memories begin flashing back of the time. Almost, I don't want, like, the best way I can describe it is as you're touching that, just kneeling down, you can almost hear the sounds of the other children and yourself as you run around this tree more times than you can count, and going in and out as almost your entire life plays around you while you're just there kneeling. And
Don't try to swallow it whole, you'll choke yourself to death, you dummy.
Son of a bitch!
That would be Dad giving Finnegan a pork chop bone.
Kind of ruined the moment there, Dad.
The Squatch is angry.
Wait, what did he do? What did he say?
He basically gave Finnegan a pork chop bone, and Finnegan was like, and Dad's like, don't eat it all the way, you're gonna choke on it.
And ruined the moment.
Really
Anyway.
and I hope it comes up in the recording.
No, I want this shit edited out.
No, it's not a ruined moment. It's funny.
This will become a short, people.
It's
Yes.
it's a fourth wall break.
Okay.
It's
So-
bone break.
And while we're in the part that's going to be cut out, what did you guys think of that performance that I did for Michaeleen? Did I come through good enough? I hope I'm not too quiet in the recording.
You
I
are
commit.
not
I
done
commit
yet.
seal clap. I commit seal clap because you're so good, and I'm
Okay.
excited for.
I cried real tears
chemistry.
there.
Yeah.
I was literally getting watery eyed.
I
was
zoned
literally getting
out, no offense.
teary-eyed.
When people get emotional, my brain kind of goes gone.
Yeah.
Estrella
okay,
feeling
okay.
compassion.
Unless it's good emotion. Good emotion
my
is okay.
Well,
Sadness, not so much.
okay. Everyone shut up. So, Michaeleen, can you like tell me what I just told you and stuff with the whole scene real quick? Like just so I can get my mind back in.
Michaeleen, you said that as he was sitting there with his head hung and his hand on the stump, he suddenly could hear children laughing. He could remember the first 10 years of his life. 10 years of his life growing up in the orphanage with Melia. He could remember running around Melia's tree, and he could remember like climbing in it. He liked to nap up in there because he's a cat.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Right, your life play around you as these memories are coming back, you feel the whole feeling and stuff of your physical heart aching, at least. You feel it deep in your chest as these memories go by, but then a feeling of warmth begins like almost growing from center of pain and starts emanating outwards, and you feel not yet comfort as the warm feeling proceeds to transfer to your chest and starts coming out through your tattoo. As you see it begin like as it almost kind of becomes animated to a sense, almost like the wind's blowing through the branches and you visibly can almost see the leaves moving? Or is that just your eyes playing a trick on you?
Michaeleen, feeling this, for context, he wearing his shirt over top of it, but he did pull his shirt down as he felt this, looking down at the tattoo.
As you see, I just start looking at it, you blink ink a few times and nothing but leaves, but then when you blink once again, all of a sudden there's a little bud. What looks like to be a flower, possibly? But it's confused. Your tattoo is just that, a tattoo. As you start looking at it, you see the bud proceed to grow, and blossom. And it's just a tiny little like flower blossom.
In the
Awesome.
tattoo or coming from Melia's
On the
her
tattoo. On the tattoo. And it proceeds to stop moving and re-solidify as the warm feeling, the sorrow you once felt is still there, but it has been buried underneath this warm feeling. So you're still sad, but it's like happy sad in a sense.
Bittersweet.
Bittersweet. Yeah, that would be a way to say it. And as you look down, as you hear a voice behind you and Estrella, Ella,
You.
it sounds rather old and granny like. Okay, above board. I'm sorry. Did she ever have a nickname for you, or do you just want me to ad-lib this shit?
She used to call him Mickey, but I
Mm.
don't. After 10 years, I don't think that she'll recognize him bending down
Okay.
from behind. Also, Is there anything funky going on with her stump? Has anything happened to it? Like maybe.
Let me cook.
Okay.
Anyway. Oh, excuse me, mister, but visiting hours haven't started yet for the thing. As you start hearing the voice, you see this little old
We never
half
really. Halfling?
yeah, halfling lady proceed to kind of walk next to you and stuff, and proceed to start like trying to point you out. But how do you react to her?
At first, hearing her voice, uh, at first, he didn't quite recognize it, but then, little flick of his cat ear. The light of realization sort of comes onto his face as he slowly turns around, and he can barely believe his eyes. And he says,
Granny Aurora?
Wait. So he turns around.
yeah, as she starts saying that visiting hours are not yet there, and how she was gonna direct him what proper visiting time were.
Yeah.
He turns around and recognizes her and calls
Okay.
her.
Granny Aurora?
As you turn around, you see Granny Awash, the halfling woman. She has very old, round features, with a bit of a lightly round nose, and she has like snow white hair that's been kind of done up in a bun that's kind of sitting like the top back of her head. Very big poopy with very still like needles, like crochet hooks and various things of that nature kind of sticking out of it. She's wearing a purple granny's purple little gown, at least. Is as she's like has glasses and stuff, like a small pair of glasses on the bridge of her nose and like a bigger set around her neck. Like as she as she kind of looks at you, wait, begins fiddling with her tiny little glasses. Mickey, is that you? Ooh, blink, blink.
Granny Aurora? It's been a while, hasn't it?
Well, you certainly took your time to get back home, you dumb cat.
Sorry, Granny Aurora. I've, I've, I, I've, I have no excuse. I should have come home sooner.
It's
I'm
okay.
sorry.
It's okay. I know. Oh, you probably went on one of your adventures and just forgot what time it is. Is as she walks over and kind of gives you a hug.
Granny Aurora, I
Roll
don't know
me.
if you've heard.
I need you to roll me an insight check real quick.
Okay. Insight is +4, so that's a nat 1.
You know what? Roll with advantage.
That's an 11, so 15.
Okay. You, with your knowledge of Granny Aurora, you know that she and Melia were very, very close friends. Very close friends. And she came over multiple times to help out the best she could. At least donated a lot of money and time here. Yeah. And you know very much that she was very, very touched. And she helped out the best she can when Amelia passed and the whole thing happened, but she just physically wasn't able to do much.
Yeah.
But I think when you moved and basically linked up with
Olviti.
Polviti, you kind of left the city a bit. But when you came to visit back for the first time, she met them and got to know them.
She
little bit.
already knew Gareth, Ashard, and Bendigo because they were also
Mhm.
kids in the orphanage.
Yep.
Granny Aurora, I don't know if you've heard from the Order. I know you're retired, but Ulfiti, Gareth, Ashard, and the Bendigo, they're all... I couldn't protect them.
She kind of gives you like one of those reassuring like hugs and pats on the back. Like at least trying to doing her best to comfort you. At least it's okay, Michaeleen.
Time out.
I'm sorry. I'm trying my best to find the right fucking words and stuff, not to be.
I get it. This is a heavy moment.
I'll cut it so there's no separation.
I know. Yeah. Okay.
And by the way, her full name is Aurora Nighthawk. Ex-member of the Order of Aethor.
Anyway. Okay. It's okay, Michaeleen. Everyone makes mistakes. Thanks. You're still here. Here. You get to enjoy all the years they left you. As you can certainly tell, she's doing her darndest to keep herself together, but you can mostly tell a very underline sad.
Thank you for your words of comfort, Granny Aurora.
You're welcome.
This is my friend Estrella.
It's nice to
Oh.
meet you, ma'am.
She kind of looks over and she kind of, one moment, turns around real quick, pulls the glasses off, forearm on eyes, wiping off some tears. Puts her glasses on. Well, name's Aurora. Oh, but you can call me Granny. And then she walks over and proceeds to shake your hand.
Estrella
And
shakes
leaves.
it back. For reference, she's not in her quail disguise at the moment, but she shakes her hand back very polite and she says, "It's nice to meet you, Granny."
Well,
He says,
I do have to admit, and I was wondering when this old tomcat was come around, looks at Michaeleen directly, and apparently he decided to drag a bird back home. Gives that certain look relatives can give.
We aren't like that. She's a friend.
"Exactly."
For now. I'll be patient. Well, with you two, with you here, back here again, Michaeleen, so keeping this place as clean will be much easier. I can only do so much and stuff. This darn knee and all.
I'm sorry, Aurora. I can't stay home. I'm still looking for the man who took them from us.
She when she said the whole keeping clean portion, she walks over to like a corner of the courtyard that she has an old broom that she's been using to sweep the leaves and stuff to keep it a little bit tidy. And she's grabbed it. As you said that, she takes a sigh. You know,
I'd be happy to help clean up today, though.
Thank you. But, Michaeleen, I hope your hunt goes well for whoever did it. But you remember what Melia always said about dwelling on things. And the second she mentions that, a memory of Melia kind of popped in the back of your head, like almost like a lesson she said to you almost constantly about things. Like the things she would have repeated to like everyone like hundreds of times and stuff. And all of you could like recite it by heart art if you wanted to.
One bad apple isn't worth cutting down the whole tree. I
So
remember, but I cannot let this one go.
I know, Michaeleen. You can most certainly see she's chewing over her words very finely to do her best. Well, nice seeing you. Just please come back in one piece this time.
He's gonna take the broom from her and start sweeping up around the pillar.
Yeah. As you proceed to grab the broom, though, everyone collectively hears like almost the whining of like old wood as it kind of as all of a sudden you all collectively hear a audible crack in sound, and you how do you react?
He spins around to find what that sound is.
As you turn around, you see that from the center of the tree, there's like a perfect crack, dead center all the way through. But you see from the center, somehow, some reason, at least, a branch or bit of wood, like new growth, spawned from the crack, but it didn't go that far. And you see hanging on it for by some unknowable reason why or how, there's a red apple hanging off the new growth, almost glistening like a gemstone. Or
Micklin's going to walk over to it and fall to his knees, his hands sort of trembling as he sort of reaches to gently cup the apple.
as you as you go to like gently cup the apple, the second your hand touches it, immediately just into your hand as the new growth proceeds to just
Wither?
fall over. Not wither, but proceed to like turn a bit paler and just fall off. As the warm feeling you felt in your chest, you're now holding in your hand.
He's going to just... More tears are going to come down his face as he just clutches the apple to his chest and just sits there for a while.
Estrella sits beside him, and after a few moments, she gently places her hand on his shoulder. She was very lucky to have a son like you.
Estrella,
Yes.
I'm sorry I've been avoiding you lately. About what you said in the desert. I was angry. I did not know what to say. I did not know what to do. But you said something about knowing things. Something about knowing about Kezes. He looks at her with a pleading look in his eyes. Please tell me everything you can about him.
She reaches into her satchel and she pulls out her journal.
Okay.
Ah.
I need to step in for a hot second. I can just for this. You have only seen him with glancing strides, but typically what you have seen is his personal messenger or messengers. You can't tell if it's the same one each time or a different one, but every time you have dealt with Kezes or anyone that's worked for him, it has always been a snow white fox. It has always been a snow white fox dressed in traditional kimono. Oh no, for the Beastman territories. Every time, consistently, it's always been a fox. They're always very well mannered and very polite. I with dealing things, and they seem to. White foxes in this world are a rare commodity around foxes. They are very rarely born, but when they are seen as natural beauties from birth.
They just
Uh,
got to spawn in a taiga biome.
Gosh.
touche, but no. And
Why?
they are very much prized for, again, very much prized for the deal. So when they grow up, they naturally have many people, many men. They're very much pursued in life, and their lives are rather difficult. But they always seem to be in, they always seem to be in good off scenarios. Well, put it this way, financially they're never struggling. Uglings, and I, I, I think I lore dumped too much there.
A little bit.
Yo. That's how you know. And Kezis, oh, like the request the White Fox always made himself, always calculated and strategic. Touch cold-hearted at times. And yeah, feel free to ad-lib.
So Estrella flips through her journal, which contains all the notes she was taking.
Does it contain sketches?
It does contain sketches. And the near the spine with the notes involving Michaeleen, that part of the book is actually cracking, like it's been read through more often. Thankfully, I had the mercy of only seeing him a few times. I mostly saw his messengers.
Who are his messengers?
She flips through and she eventually comes to the section that's reserved for Kezes. And there's a sketch there, and you can see that the handwriting, while it is old, there's definitely some emotion behind it, as it was written in a hurry. He surrounds himself with these white foxes, which, given his status, like I'll excuse us, the dogs are fighting. Which, given his status, I always assumed it was a way for him to flaunt his status symbol. And she kind of gets a little pale. Like, despite the fact that this section is definitely one that was written in fear, the sketch was actually really good. I never actually served him, thankfully, but I did not like him. One of the few times he actually briefly noticed me, I thought he was going to eat me. I didn't know which version, so
Michaeleen's going to slowly, still clutching the apple to his chest, slowly reach over and take the book from her and look at the sketch of Kezes.
That is him. Without a shadow of a doubt in my mind. That is the man who took everything from me.
Okay.
I was breaking the rules technically. We weren't we were never supposed to take notes of clients. But at the same
Estrella. Oh, I'll let you. Sorry.
but at the same time, I was always taught a friend was simply an enemy who hasn't attacked yet. And having knowledge like this would give you the upper hand when they did attack.
Okay. I want you to roll me. I don't know how to do this, but roll me. I want you to roll me a perception check, and this is for your past self.
Okay, give me a sec. There was a thing that distracted me.
Are we going to get a flashback from can we get a flashback from Estrella's perspective?
Let's give the canary PTSD. Sure, why not? I wanted PTSD
Put it
this
this way. Put it this
morning.
way. I will take that idea and save it for later, but there's something I'm doing particularly here.
That's
I'm doing
a nat.
particular.
That's a nat 20 on perception.
Okay. Not 20 on perception. Okay. With bonuses. Yada yada. Okay. Michaeleen. Now I want you to roll me. Okay. Give me passive perception. Like
My passive
you're
perception is 16.
16. Okay. Okay. I went passive instead of active because you're very emotional at this moment. You're holding like the last living portion of Melia. And
He's
whole bunch.
absolutely going to
Yeah.
try and propagate some seeds and grow a new tree. Maybe he can bring Milia back. Maybe, I don't know.
At the very least, you could find a way to get closure and get one last kiss on forehead from Mommy
Proceed and
Tree.
give it a drop of your blood.
Oh my
Shut
god.
up, Kain.
Anyway. Oh my god.
Okay. So I'm gonna say you do manage to notice it. So you get a good like you look at the picture and stuff, but then you notice something of the sketch that on there, and you almost like have to like take a double take and blink as you look at it, and you see on his like almost as like a clip and stuff. You see a medal and stuff on like his cloak that has a marking on it that looks very familiar. An exact copy of the symbol of the medal you saw on the soldiers from the pit. The cat skull with the flower in its exact copy.
Michaeleen is going to flick his cat ear and compartmentalize that. So he's definitely on the right trail. But Estrella, you were talking about your experience with him and possibly you were gonna do some lore dumping of your own.
Well, only if Michaeleen asks. Because she first met him on her travels, and they sort of then, like, they coincidentally kept bumping into each other until,
You know, the adventure. Anyway.
Estrella,
Yes?
what happened to make you work for the people who you worked for before we faked your death?
It's a long story.
We have until 2 in the afternoon, and it is only 8 in the morning.
She
We
seems
have time.
She seems a little hesitant at first, but and her you can see her eyes have been watering. Like she and her emotions through her eyes, because you know the eyes are the window to the soul. As you've been grieving for Melia, you can tell that Estrella's heart has been bleeding for you. Have you ever heard the story of the Enchanter's Canary?
I don't believe that I have.
DM, do you want him to roll a history? Because it is
Sure.
a
Sure.
good.
Roll history.
Yes.
That's a 7 with a 3 to history. 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's just a 10.
It
It's a.
sounds vaguely familiar.
But you at least you remember hearing it as the bits you start remembering and stuff. You believe it's some sort of bedtime fairy tale that mothers
Melia.
tell their children. Melia told it to you once or twice, but you barely remember. Any memory with her is very much blocked in your head. But basically, you have a rough understanding of it. That's a bedtime story, so on and so. It's a bedtime story for children.
Well, this, the story's changed a lot over the years, but once upon a time there was. Oh my gosh, the dogs are fighting. Tan- yeah, Tansy's just being dramatic. They're nomming on cardboard because of course they are. Anyway. Yeah, they're teething on cardboard. Anyway. Well, once upon a time there was an enchanter from a well-known family of means. He was quite skilled in the ways of divinations and fortune telling. He was also very skilled at talking with animals. It's somewhat of a joke. Would you two stop? Hang on a sec. I need to let them out. I'm trying to make you. Once upon a time, there was an enchanter from a well-known family of means. He was the golden child of his family, well versed in divination, potion making, and all around a sensible and wonderful human. In similar ways to your mother. One day, during his travels, he came across a harpy, a canary woman caught in a trap. Her wings mangled, and she was quite injured. He cut her loose, and he slowly nursed her back to health, and they fell in love. She smiles kind of bittersweetly as she tells the story. Well, through adventures, the enchanter takes his beloved home. She meets his family, and, as the storybook says, like so many often do, they lived happily ever after, and they had a little chick not too long into their marriage. That's how they always tell the story, but the real story's not as happy. For, in reality, the enchanter and his canary were star-crossed. Back when that actually meant something, and wasn't just a phrase painted over by hopeless romantics. They were star-crossed, and although she herself grew and changed into a better person because of this enchanter, his family didn't see it that way. After all, this canary was nothing more than a wild thing from the forests, a savage. And they refused to bless the enchanter's marriage to her. Well, though they were star-crossed, they eloped. Passionate night under the stars, and she lays him an egg. The enchanter's family was furious. And because they had the means to do so, they blackmailed their son into leaving his wife. He was to leave her and remarry someone more sensible. And if he didn't, well, dead harpies and smashed harpy eggs are nothing new in many parts of the world. So he left her in order to protect her and his unborn chick.
This was before the collapse.
I'm not that old, but the book often says it was before the collapse. Creative embellishment and all that. You know.
Your father was human? Fully human?
He was a bit of a... He was a mixed breed. For lack of a better term. But he left my mother to protect the two of us, and well, I only grew up on my mother's stories of him. And she always painted him in such a wondrous light. My mother... Oh, go ahead.
I have a vague memory of Melia telling me this story when I was a child. How did she know it?
They sell copies of the story. They're at the marketplace, but again, they're the they're this they're the creatively embellished ones, where the enchanter and his canary live happily ever after. No one really knows the actual story. And I suppose no one ever really does want to know the real story behind the famous fairy tales. After all, the truth is often darker, it's uglier, it's bloodier, and it hurts more, rather than a pretty painted lie.
And how did you get caught up in the people who... Well, deal with cases is sort.
Estrella reaches into her pocket and she pulls out her flask. And she takes a big drink. I lost my mother when I was about 7. Barely learning how to fly. I spent a good portion of my life wandering the streets, begging for food, trying to find work. What work a 7-year-old can do anyway. I tried going to my father, but, well, I was turned out. And told never to come back or show my face around their manor house again. Unless I wanted to die. Which I almost contemplated. Since I haven't seen my mother in years, so I assume she's dead. But I eventually was found by an elfin nobleman known as Montague. He took me in and cared for me, and I was given a home. He taught me many things. He even had a friend who taught me how to fly. And at this, Estrella, you see her starting to cry a little bit, but she's not weeping. It's the tears are trickling out as she smiles a very bittersweet smile that is laced with a sense of self-loathing. I thought he actually loved me. I thought he considered me. I thought I finally had a family again. He just wanted someone who was helpful, who could carry out messages and partake in the family's line of work. I was manipulated, and I was a fool for thinking.
Michaeleen's going to reach his arm over and hug her.
We've both suffered so much at the hands of others. I'm sorry for pushing you away.
I don't blame you. I would have. I wanted you to do it.
Shh, 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 shh. It's all right.
It's not all right. Because I'm not the only one who's been hurt by the House of Montague, and I won't be the only one hurt by them. Because there are others trapped in that house who have to do these things. The kind of things that I did. Or worse, if you end up in one of the other places.
Michaeleen is going to stand up and look at her.
Estrella.
What's her last name?
Give me a sec.
Palmer.
I have
Estrella Palmer.
Palmer. Yes.
Estrella Palmer. As I live and breathe, as I will take my revenge on cases, I will help you.
I forgot to do the inflection of the H. Hold on.
As I live and breathe, I will help you take your revenge on Montague.
I don't want
As he
revenge. I don't want revenge. I just want that house to burn. There are
Then I
people.
will help you. I will help you.
He holds out his hand for her to take.
please.
She's hesitant at first, but she takes it. Going to your house isn't an easy feat.
Taking down cases in Trath is no easy feat either. But I will do it one way or another.
You don't owe me anything, though.
You've been my traveling companion for quite some time. True, we separated on and off, but you have always been there for me. Though you were taking notes of me secretly, little creepy, but it was your job.
I took notes of everyone. I even kept notes on myself. Though,
Still, you were there for me. Let me be there for you. It's time we should head back to the Order.
of
Captain
course.
Valhi, not Captain, Commander Valhim had a test she wanted to put me through. And I think we've kept the others waiting long enough.
Of course. And as the two of them are leaving, they walk past the gate. Estrella,
What does Granny Aurora say?
You proceed to look around, and classic anime thing and stuff of where she was standing, ending, there's almost like an invisible outline where she was just blinking, but she's not there. Where's the granny?
Probably gone to clean the other side.
Um,
let
as
me sweep up here first. Then we will go.
before you even have a chance to turn around, and Michaeleen, in you kind of get jumped and surprised by this as you hear her voice.
Full on, his tail is frizzed up, his ears are laid back, and his eyes are slits.
Granny Aurora, how many times have I told you? Please do not sneak up on me like that.
Well, I'm sorry that I can't hear my thunderous footsteps as she proceeds to stomp on the ground out mockingly.
Granny Aurora, you're an ex-member of the Order of Aethor. You walk as quietly as a ghost. Same as me.
Anyway. And your point is there, as you look at her and stuff, and she's actually holding something on next to her side.
What is that?
Nothing. Just an old flower pot. That I have no use for. She hands it to you. You proceed to grab it and start looking it over. It's fairly, I'm gonna say maybe about yayish big. And you start looking over it, and it is a flower pot that you made with Amelia's help when you were younger. Like
Does
one
it
of the
have little Michaeleen's handprint and Amelia's handprint right next to it?
sure.
oh my gosh.
That is the biggest bullshit I have ever heard.
I don't know what the
Jawbone
fuck
is
you're
currently
talking
away,
about.
so we're just gonna say that he is getting yoked again.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Bro's
guys-
lifting like no tomorrow.
yeah. You guys open
He's
up the
working
door and
hard.
stuff. You guys open up and see him just like bench pressing the
I want to
bed
see
with
Chaticus
a
and
bunch.
Bradicus again.
No,
He's
you guys.
bench pressing an elephant.
No, not elephant, but he's
Yes, he's
underneath
bench
his
pressing
bed,
an
just
elephant.
bench pressing it. But he's piled as much shit on top of it as he physically can to increase the weight. If you guys take a good enough look at him, you see he's actually fucking asleep while bench pressing still.
It'd be even
The
funnier. if it
exhale,
was
he's
like-
pushing back up, and on the inhale, he's letting it drop back down.
yeah.
And there's
Which
almost a degree of growling in his snore.
He's dreaming. He's dreaming
Yeah.
that he's bench pressing an elephant. But
Yeah.
anyway,
A pink elephant. Pink elephants. Pink elephants. Not gonna get a copy strike.
I haven't drank that much yet. That medicine, though, I appreciate I appreciate the effort, but it did not taste good.
Oh dear. Okay.
So,
It did not taste
Uh,
good.
we're
So
going
then.
back over to the order. What's
Well,
Abe
not
gonna
done yet.
do?
Not done yet. Not done yet.
Mm.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
So
I'm almost done. Almost done. So you start looking over it, various embellishes and stuff, but you turn the pot itself is completely white. You guys use a white stain, and there's like these clay vines wrapped around it. And you know darn well that she has tried for many years when you were there to grow a flower out of it. And every time the flower's just about to bloom, it dies and wilts away. Every single time. For some reason, she can never get a fucking flower to live in that damn pot. She gave it to you to put. Maybe it would be better use for you, since she apparently never had a green thumb.
Thank you, Granny Aurora.
He's
You're
gonna also
welcome.
look back over to the stump and see that little piece of wood that stuck out and grew this piece of Melia for him. He's gonna go and grab that as well. After all, his blade needs a handle.
And you grab it, and you don't even hear any cracking and stuff. It just, yeah. As you proceed to put in your bag, the pot itself is very big enough to the point where you could put the entire apple in and still have more than enough space for it.
So he's gonna nod his thanks to Granny Aurora, and he's going to look at Estrella and give a somber smile.
Shall we be off then?
I suppose it was lovely to meet her.
Thank you for being here for me.
Thank you for letting me join you. I'm sorry.
I don't want to say that it's okay, but thank you.
You're welcome.
Back to the order hall. And what has been Abe up to talking to the engineers of the order?
So we'll kind of go back in time and like right after you guys left.
I'm gonna say, Kain, you would have had gotten yourself dressed together best you can, hit the main. Uh, uh, a lady would have walked into the room and stuff, one of the attendants, and basically gave you said good morning, got you a cup of coffee, and basically said, here, this way, and basically led you back to the main lobby, the main hall. At least, as you see Abe sitting at a table with a large platter of food. Not plate, platter, filled with food as he's just casually eating as he's going over math and numbers. Various things: fried chicken, waffles, sweetbread, bacon, eggs, sausages. Any kind of breakfast food is on the plate.
Abe's just casually going over the notes in front of him, trying to solve a couple things as he's actually for once got his helmet, his bottom face plate is off so that he can eat.
Does it sort of look like a bicentennial man sort of situation with sort of semi-silicone face?
There's a semi there's a bit of a face. What it looks like right now is he has sullen cheekbones and he doesn't have proper lips. So he's got teeth and it's encapsulated, but he doesn't have. It still doesn't look right.
I'm gonna say with the way everything's kind of looking, there's a degree of like almost like I'm gonna say kind of silverish metal, but you can't really tell. It basically looks like he like a zombie if it had like translucent skin and you just saw the skeletal jaw of the thing.
The order member who is running the cook thing is like,
Oi, mate, you get burned or something?
Let's call it something.
Damn right ugly. But hey, there's plenty of ugly folk around here. I mean, take a
Yeah,
look
look
at
in the
Gary
mirror.
over there. Hey,
Gar-
fuck you.
Gary isn't that bad, and you know it. Oh, Krim. No, not Krim, not Krim. Greg.
did you say Greg or Craig?
Greg. As Greg casually just swipes, like, dumps like another 4 fried eggs on your platter.
Here you go, big metal glug, you. Enjoy.
Thank you very much. And if you don't leave my sight within the next 5 seconds, you'll pay for the comment.
All right, I get when I'm not wanted.
As he turns around and leaves. Goodbye, Greg. I don't know if we'll ever see you again.
We'll see him again.
Oh,
In
great.
the alleyway.
That one
covered in
returning, the one returning character, Greg, the Australian guy.
blood.
Yeah,
I'm from
he
Australia.
was isekai to this world from the land down under.
Oh, I'm from down under.
No. He's just from Floridus.
No, I think it's
Do
funnier
people
that he was
from-
isekai'd. I think it's funnier that he was isekai'd.
Well, you have to think about it. Floridus is supposed to be a combination of Florida and Australia.
Yeah,
So it
but
would
it's
actually
still
make
funnier.
a crap ton more sense that it. And nobody's isekai'd into this.
Oi, I'm from Floridas.
Well, I'm not there yet. I'm still looking for Eris.
Anywho's. So,
Commander Valheim would probably be in her office right now.
so
I'm gonna go walk in.
you try to walk.
Broken.
I'd rather not have Salt talking to her again.
Let me finish. As you go to try to open the door, you see that there is 2 people standing next to the door having a conversation directly in front of the door in uniform of order uniform. And they're just casually having a
Smiling
conversation.
me. Commander Valheim ain't seeing nobody right now.
As you see, one of the people in uniform seems to be what looks like to be a dead body. You take a little bit to look at it and stuff and realize it's a reborn. Reborn.
What are reborn?
They're just people that have come back with a.
Thing. So basically undead people. Technically they're supposed to be more Frankenstein-y and stuff, but the way I like Pluranium is undead.
Well, there's a lot of different reborn variants, but usually it's by some artificial means that they're brought back. Sometimes they just came back with a vengeance.
And sometimes, shortly after their death, they get struck by lightning.
Yep.
Oh, mate. Yeah. I was struck by lightning after I got KO'd. It was kind of a trip, really. Saw my ancestors. But, yeah, then woke back up. And I got this gaunt face going on.
Yeah. And it's like
Hold on.
when I woke up,
I woke up like this.
But at least that'll be a quick little thing. And
Anyway,
I think their church.
what's Abe doing with the engineers?
I will say this, Abe. Earlier the morning, as you start doing that, you kind of all of a sudden stuff. You hear another plate kind of. I'm gonna say wooden tray kind of gets set down in front of you as you're filling out math, and she
Alright.
has a plate of food, cup of coffee, and some stuff. As you hear a voice, "Hmm, doing a little bit of mathematics, Cicely." Very inquisitive voice, and scholarly by the sounds of it.
Big round glasses, frizzy red hair.
Bit of hypothetic
Miss
astrophysics,
Frizzle.
but yes.
Ah,
Well,
I see. I see. Yeah, as you proceed to look up, and you see two very long, pointed ears at least, with a large set of round glasses, and a degree of white hair kind of frizzed out a little bit, with degrees of like a white mustache and a little bit of facial hair and stuff. Huh. You look at this person, and you see their three-fingered hand, and as you see him kind of going over your math and stuff. Just by the sheer look, you know he's doing the math in his head just as fast, to a similar speed of your own mental calculating.
Do you know much about the subject?
Oh, do I? Do I? It's actually, I've written what, 3 papers on it at this point. Working on my fourth now.
What exactly is it that Abe is working on?
That is a secret for Abe to know right now, and nobody else to find out until later.
Yep. As you are talking to this dude, as you recognize him as a pale goblin, which is a subspecies of goblin. They
They live in caves.
no, they actually moved. Well, wild goblins that moved into the city. That actually moved into the city, and their intelligence kind of grew and adapted over time, as they became basically natural scholars and tinkerers and their own thing. Some theorize they're just inbred goblins that have bred with gnomes, or some really weird off species of gnome, but it's a goblin.
It's a goblin.
Yeah.
To be,
As
to be honest, I don't see many goblins still in the cities.
oh, we are a rare few, but we're actually members of the order. Order.
What
Wait,
department?
looks engineering division. Vision. My our physical strength isn't the best, as so we apply our strength where it's most suited. Our intelligence to crafting and working on machinery. Anyway, as he says that and stuff, two more pale goblins sit down beside him and stuff. One pimes up. Just saying, and your calculations for that last invention of yours did not work out well. Yes, it did. It worked out perfectly fine. And you don't know the difference between a screwdriver and a crowbar. Yes, I do. Will you two knock it off? My apologies. 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 He points to one to the side. To the right of him. The right one seems to have much shorter white hair. Much shorter white hair, and seems to be wearing a bit of a seems to have a bit of a bandana wrapped around his neck.
Mhm.
And the one to his left actually seems to be wearing a set of goggles over his eyes.
Mm.
Eyes with what looks like to be possibly a respirator around his neck. Neck. Sorry. This would be Chris and this would be Gavin. Gavin. Oh, and I forgot myself. I would be Brigsby. My name is Brigsby.
Alex Brigsby.
Alexios Brisby.
I see. Wow. It's pleasant to meet you all again.
As they kind of all sit down, they all kind of collectively kind of start looking at your work and stuff. And you see all three of them and stuff. Like you hear little murmurs and chirps, like touch goblinish, touch common on many of these, but you immediately know and stuff that they're actually going over your work right now.
I can speak
Oh.
Goblin, so it works out.
Yeah. From the little bitch murmurs you get and stuff, you see that they're actually like going over it. And they're actually genuinely knowledgeable in this field. It'll actually point out a couple of your mistakes or adjust
Miscalculations.
miscalculations.
Like you
Some of your very,
possible
very few
decimal
mistakes.
point. A decimal point misplaced here or there can mess up the entire calculation.
Yeah, he's not wrong. So are you going to ask me about the work, or are you just going to keep reading it over my shoulder?
Oh, my apologies. My apologies. Apologies. Just natural knowledge check on your own end. You know that these guys are pale goblins, particularly the ones that really went to Skodvari, are insatiable when it comes to knowledge. Like any possible chances, any possible time they get a chance to study something, research, dissect, any chance they get, they grab it and consume it like a starving wolf.
Yeah, I
At
get
least
that.
they love learning. So, our apologies. So, by our rough calculations, if you're looking to build, insert what you're trying to build here.
Right now, I'm not building anything. I am just running calculations for thrust power and capacity needed for, let's say, larger structures.
If the Mirage Chamber was working, we could probably put together a simulation for these. But it's kind of busted right now.
Of course, of course, the simulation would have to be to 1/5. No, not 1/5.
1/20th.
1/20th scale. To be relevant, and easy to run in the chamber. Amber.
At the same time, I am also trying to dissect another item that I have. See how I can improve it.
Dissection items. Yes. What is it? As all three of them kind of look like ears, like if they could bend forward, they would be bent forwards.
But they are tilted upwards.
Abe's gonna kind of like reach into his jacket, and pull out the anti-magic rifle.
All of them.
Their eyes get to be the size of watermelons. And there's awe and there's reverence, but there's also a desire to touch and to play with.
Touch, play with. Reverse engineer. Build more.
Hold on. Why y'all talk about playing with things? Hold on.
Okay,
No,
the
I
one,
don't, Mr.
the
Rid-
one, the one with the goggles immediately pushes a button and lenses begin like
Their eyes just get so big.
begins like almost like observing your thing.
Did you get that?
One pulls out tape. One pulls out tape measure and starts taking like calipers, tape measure, and starts taking measurements of everything.
One of them's already sketching blueprints on a blackboard at super speed.
Abe's gonna like flick his wrist slightly, and a pistol will suddenly be in his hand. You tell anybody about this. You tell anybody about these specs.
No, the second you do that, the two on the side immediately curl behind the first guy. Between Alexios.
This is
There are a
secret.
few other order members looking over, hands on their the pommels of their various weapons and or firearms.
I don't wish for people to know what it is, so if you could keep your conversation quiet and never share it with anyone else, I'd appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Understand.
The Order of Aethor is engineer branch. We keep tight lips on everything. Heck,
And just
the most advanced part of our everything is
Elbow and ribs.
Well, we've already told them about the Mirage Chamber.
I know, but that's only for testing, you idiot.
It's broken anyway.
Even still, we don't know him. Oh, him. So, as he proceeds to start, the one on the left proceeds to start shoving his buddies aside. Sorry for bothering you. We'll be on our way.
And then one of them is still lingering. It's like, but fancy thing, points to the gun.
Grabs Ab's back of shirt.
Abe is going to tuck the gun back into his coat, stand up from his now empty tray, and follow them.
They proceed to wander. Oh, Goblin, you back?
Yeah, sorry for the time.
It's all right. We were
It's okay.
following Abe.
Got pause on that. Jawbone, after doing, I'm gonna say about 200 reps.
Of everything in your room piled on top of your bed, you underneath the bed, and doing reps
press.
with it. Bench pressing.
Mm-hmm. After that, what are you doing? I presume you head down to breakfast?
Yeah, I head down for like a quick
Breakfast.
question. Are there showers or baths in this place?
Oh, of course.
Or am I
There
gonna
are
go to a lake?
There are showers. The baths are exclusively reserved for the high tier members only.
You got to be at
go to-
least ruby ranked,
I gotta shower
or the
myself.
engineer equivalent.
I gotta shower myself, and I cannot help but do more squats in the shower as I'm cleaning myself, and then head to get some breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
He's a workout
Then head out and look
machine.
for the guys.
Jawbone, the quad god.
Anyway. Anyway, at least you make your way back out and you see that Abe, you immediately notice and stuff after getting some food and stuff. You see Abe, you see three short white creatures. You think goblins of some kind or some critter. It's like casually kind of like walking away, but you can tell just by their demeanor and stuff, they're scared. They're kind of scared shitless and kind of trying to put distance between them and Predator. You look back, see Abe. This makes sense. As Abe proceeds to get up and start following them.
Following through.
Does Jawbone believe and really believe that they're friends?
Does Jawbone believe that
Hold
Metal
on,
Man made
hold on,
friends?
Hold on, can you repeat the site again?
Okay, so three small white creatures and stuff about 15 feet away from Abe are walking away from him, and you can tell by their demeanor and acting and stuff that they're scared and putting distance between themselves and the Predator. You look back at Abe, this makes sense, and you see him proceed to get up and just casually start walking towards them while he carries his tray and puts it down on the cleaning rack. How do you react to this?
I run towards Abe to question. Abe!
Jawbone.
What is happening?
Well, I've heard about something interesting that's broken, and I want to go fix it.
You need help?
Yes, Jawbone. I would love some help.
Just tell me what you need. Abe sees me running towards him like this in the VC chat.
Just follow me for now, Jawbone. We're gonna go say hi to some friends.
You lead the way. Ooh, friends?
We're gonna follow the goblins.
Okay. You kind of see them kind of starts going away down a hallway and trying to turn around. You end up walking into uh the guild hall's workshop area. As
Where
you
do they see a portly dwarven man who notices them and gets up? Like the boss of the current area.
sure, we can say that he's like the shop master, basically. Quartermaster. Him. He
Is
kind
there
of
something you can help? Is there something I can help you with?
Yes, I've heard about a delectable piece of technology here that's broken. I'm here to fix it.
Sorry there, Paul, but
Nope.
only members of the Order's engineering branch can even have a look at the inner workings of a mirage chamber. It's a secret that's been kept longer than the collapse has been around.
You might want to bring that up with the goblins.
as he
What did they do this time?
They
as
told me all about it.
as the three goblins are hiding behind one of the shop tables in fear.
They didn't spill anything about the inner workings, did they? They just said it was broken.
Not a word, sir. Not a one. And
They told me
one
it's
pokes
able
his
to
head up.
simulate
He gets to pull
things.
down his buddies.
It's able to simulate
Well,
certain calculations.
well, I just have to say one thing. I know you came in with Michaeleen. I know you're good friends with him. And for that, I'll be lenient with you and let you have a good look at some of the parts that aren't all that top secret. But if you want a deeper dive into what it is, I'm gonna need to test you. I'm gonna need to see if you're order material.
You all, from what Michaeleen tells me, have a fascination with old world tech, correct?
Seeing as how the order's been around longer than all this technology was ever invented, we know quite a lot and we have a lot in storage.
Then take a good look at me. What do you notice?
You look to be some sort of old world warforged of some kind.
You're right. I am a warforged from the old world. What's interesting is that I wasn't made originally to be a warforged. I
Ooh.
was
Some
originally
sort of
human.
souls trapped in a machine sort of situation.
Exactly. Now, the real interesting part is this. As his arm like turns into a large sword.
Knew that. I've not seen. Very, very interesting.
How about a quid pro quo? I'll let you figure out anything you want about what I'm able to do, and you let me take a look at that mirage chamber. See if I can't fix it.
Tell you what. I, floor master of the engineering branch, will write up a confidentiality contract, magically binding, saying anything you see you can't share with anyone outside of the order. And I will sign the exact same contract about you and your funky abilities that have to do with generating what seems to,
As he looks up and down at the sword arm,
some sort of biomechanical technology generation.
I think we have a deal.
This will also make you an honorary member of the Order's whole, but you won't have any authority outside of what I give you. today. But if you change your mind, the test is right and ready if you're wanting to have an even deeper look. I'm not saying that you have to. It's just we don't often see many old worlders. Not a lot of them around, you know. My grandfather was, bless his soul, was around during the collapse. Told me stories and made me want to.
As he's talking, he's also writing out the contract.
As he got older, he told us stories of the old world and the tech you used to have. Love to see it.
Well, actually, just outside the city, and this I won't. You don't have to include in the contract, I'll happily show you. I have a bit of old world tech of my own design.
Really?
As he's finishing writing out the contract, he hands it to you and he offers you his hand. He's a small burly dwarf, but he's got big ass hands.
All right.
The name is Daryl. Daryl Smith. Hey. Daryl Smithy.
I bend over slightly as I shake his hand. The name's Abe Volt. Of the Volt Core from before.
Daryl would have. He doesn't know it exactly, but he knows that it's most certainly from the past. So that's like basically like the signed seal dead deal. Like, so bitch.
Big name.
You may have heard of my parents' company, Ark.
My grandfather told me about Ark. Something about them doing some shady practices. I never looked into it personally, but well, anyway. The contract is written. I've already signed it. Once you sign it, and we both prick our fingers, do you have an equivalent to blood?
I do.
Well, we prick our fingers, put our blood in that little box there, and the magic will bind our lips. Anything that we see or say can't be discussed outside of the order or this room.
Sounds fair to me. As Abe pulls out a pen, just scratch his signature on it.
Daryl just takes his thumb and bites it to get it to bleed, and then he just sticks it into the box first.
Abe's left arm separates at the forearm as a blade pops out of his arm. He pricks his finger on the blade. As a golden ichor drips from his finger.
What kind of magical bullshit are you going to say happens, Mr. DM? And I'm sorry for sort of taking over for this NPC, but I kind of wanted to do a burly dwarf.
It's okay. It's okay. Oh, I would honestly, if I was gonna toss anything in, all I was gonna say was I was thinking maybe Eris could kind of come in and stuff and just say all things of that nature, but yeah. It was natural.
Mr. Daryl Smithy is a good floor master of the engineers branch of the guild.
Yeah. Understandable. So, and I think Eris has put it this way, they work well together. Grouchy at times, but they work well together.
Mm-hmm. There's not a lot, but there are a few who are part of both branches, both hunters and engineers.
Yeah. I will say this though. I will say this. The dwarf dude was basically the main guy working that. I'm gonna say he was the one who made her collar.
Probably.
You know the one I speak of. So, I'll say this. He proceeds to pull out what blueprints and diagrams he does have, at least, that he brought, which are under lock and key. Feel free to run through the scene.
The basic working of the Mirage Chamber. It essentially takes your perspective, your senses, everything that your brain perceives through your eyes, your ears, your sense of touch, your smell, everything, and it projects it into an illusionary body in an illusionary environment around you, essentially allowing you, well, to experience anything you really want. The hunters use it to practice fighting against monsters. They can't really get any stronger as whatever they go in with. It's a hard limit. It's a hard bottleneck. They can't get stronger as it's all in their head. But being able to work and get the muscle memory down, being able to make the decisions that they need to make in the heat of a moment, it's an invaluable tool. For us in the engineers branch, we use it as sort of a way of safely testing some of the more dangerous concepts. See, before we make it in reality, we sort of make it in the illusionary chamber and test it there. Every bit of physics, every bit of magic and whatnot is exactly the same on the inside as would be on the outside, only none of it is real. It's the safest way to test everything we have. But it's broken. It was developed well before, the whatever caused the collapse. It runs on... Are you aware of what nuclear fission is?
Yes, I actually have made it myself.
Really? Then you
I
might
currently have
just
5
be
on
able
my
to
ship.
help me fix this damned thing.
Is that
I've been
what's
working on it
broken,
for
the power
months.
source? Is the power source all that's broken?
Power source, some of the projecting crystals. Some dingle decided it'd be a great and grand idea to try and...
As he pinches the bridge of his nose, remembering back to the incident.
Somebody
Some
toyed with it.
dinklenob and the hunters thought it'd be a grand idea to try and bring back one of his hunts alive. Needless to say, the creature got out and broke stuff.
I see. Unfortunately, I understand that all too well. I've got a
You
brother
have a
that does the same
knucklehead of
thing.
your own?
Damn right I do.
Can't live with them. Can't get
For
rid
some
of them.
reason, he hears Kane's voice in his head saying, "I'm not a knucklehead, dick."
Yeah, damn no, you fucking are. Now get back to fucking the woman.
She ain't
Deal.
here.
So, Salt, if you'd like to take back over the scene as the DM, what sort of tech is Mr. Darrell showing Mr. Abe?
Basically, before he basically pulled out this blue case, very well made blue case with gold borders on the edge. With lock and key, opens up and proceeds to open it up, and there were 3 blueprints and stuff. So far, he's taken 2 out and laid them out for the rough thing, with the 3rd one still inside the case. Which in the back of his head, he's very much still thinking whether or not to even show that off, at least. But with what he's seen and with what the blueprints have said, at least, the blueprints are not exact. They are almost almost the diagrams and stuff of the ones they studied before, because Daryl knows and stuff that there are exactly, I'm gonna say, 5 of these things that the Order has available to them and stuff. This, and
5
unfortunately,
working Mirage chambers right now.
yeah, and from what he understands and stuff, the technology, the technology itself was built during the old world, but the core mechanism ism that was like designed or based off of is much older, like significantly older.
I'll be honest with you. A lot of our Mirage chambers are broken. It's just... The Order had 5 working ones. There were more, but over the years, went down to 5, and now it's down to 4.
Abe's like
The
looking
main-
at the blueprints while he's talking.
The main component was made way longer ago. Back when the Order first commissioned these things. Well before your time, well before my granddad's time, before his granddad's, and his. The Order's an old organization. So old that some of its technology, the inner workings, are lost to even the members today.
Based on the
It's one of the
structure of the
real-
crystalline structures, this is psychic magic crystals.
Indeed. And the method to creating them is sadly lost.
Abe, roll me a knowledge check, either investigation or straight intelligence check. No, investigation or arcana. You can choose.
You said investigation or arcana?
Yeah, whichever one you want.
Okay, either works. Alright, we're gonna go with arcana. And that's gonna be a 27.
27. You look at it and you're getting a rough idea of how the machine works. But he is correct and stuff. The mechanism itself, the core mechanism, is extremely old. Way older than anything that the old world had around or made. And something about it just feels familiar though. Like half the design is like starting to click, like something, half the design feels familiar, but the other half just doesn't. It's like there's something up here and you don't know why. But you do notice like a few markings that remind you of something, someone, kinda, but memory check?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, can I roll for a memory check?
Sure.
And I also want to roll to see if my parents had anything like that in their old lab.
Sure. History then.
He could also have a brother of his also roll this.
That looks like a nat
Natural
20.
20.
Yay!
Never mind, I am not needed.
As you guys are kind of going over the okay, so your hit knowledge check, natural 20. You've seen similar tech, but that tech is kind of the bit that's the tech you see on there. You never got an up close good look at it and stuff, but I think your brain, you believe that's why it kind of feels familiar to you, but the other half still feels odd and alien, like you have no fucking clue. But the
So
markings,
we could probably reflavor it like the parents were working on something similar to it, trying to make a modern version of it.
Mhm.
Um,
But
with the company,
yeah.
but so the old, like the older magical aspects wouldn't be familiar.
Yeah. I will say this though, the carvings though do remind you of Pix, and that one time you looked inside a noggin. At least.
Speaking of Pix, when's the last time we got to see her? Is she on the Seraphim?
Yeah. She's been kind of like walking about a bit more dazed now.
Nodo's trying to teach her how to defend herself.
Right, but isn't she also missing a piece of her brain?
Yes.
So
Okay, we're gonna move on to that.
okay. I'm gonna say at this point, and Dwarf and Abe begin visiting and talking for a little bit. Eventually the conversation leads to, let me show you my ship.
Your ship? There's no ocean anywhere near us.
Oh, it's not like any kind of ship you've seen. It's about a mile outside of the gate if you're willing to see.
Darla! Get the sand crawlers!
No need. Who wants to go?
The three little white goblins, 3 hands poke up immediately from behind the workbench.
Okay.
Jawbone, you see them and stuff. You take this opportunity to pounce.
3 friends.
Opportunity to like grab him and just like bro hold the 3 of them in my arms.
Yes.
You're coming with me.
3 new friends.
Shit.
Would you please tell your muscly friend there to put me subordinates down?
Oh, he's just giving him a big hug. Besides, they're gonna want to brace for how small they are.
Alex there seems like his eyes are about to fall out, about to be blown out of his head. He's being squeezed so hard.
Jawbone, loosen the grip, but make sure they don't fly.
Righto.
He loosens the grip a little bit, enough to like let him breathe.
Abe is going to... Abe's going to look at his arm real quick as parts of his arm start to light up. He'll press some of the symbols that show up as a... Yes, DM.
I was just gonna say like an antenna pokes out.
No antenna pokes out. This is not mechanical. Anyways, Abe is pressing the symbols on his arms as they pop up, and a large circle, magic circle, appears around him, surrounding 10 feet around him, like radius of 10 feet.
Okay.
As every living creature within that space gets teleported.
Okay.
Nice use of instant transportation magic.
I will say this: the teleportation effect, when it engages, the rings a black. Everyone proceeds to float up a little bit, and then teleports with a sphere of things, and then deal. Abe, I will say when you land on the other side though and stuff, everything seems good for the first 15-20 seconds. Then your arm with all the runes just begins to spark.
Gosh, shit. It's still fucking working out the arcane part. As he just, his hand kind of turns slightly sharp, and he just...
Did he just cut off his own hand?
No, cut off an entire section of his arm.
So he skinned himself, essentially.
Yeah.
Jawbone
Is
to
that really necessary?
Jawbone lives
Yes.
the subordinates to cover his face.
Right. Daryl is like,
is that really necessary?
Abe's just gonna
he's
casually
looking-
kick the piece of him that he just cut off overboard, and you'll just hear a loud boom in the distance. Yes, it was necessary.
As already the chunk that you saw bands of metal and
Yeah,
stuff
it's
is
like
not-
already metal's already reforming over it.
Mhm.
I can see that. But this.
Daryl's gonna do that dwarf hustle thing over to the side of the ship and look down.
We are currently
Oh,
500
yeah.
feet over the ground.
You have a flying ship?
I do.
Please. You have no idea just how useful this would be for the Order. How many people we'd be able to save if we could deploy Order members from anywhere at any time.
We're currently on the bow of the ship, by the way. So he'd also be able to see the hoverboards built into the front of the helm of the bow.
If the Order had something like this, there'd be no telling how many people we could help.
As you guys are talking, Nodo comes walking out with a silver tray with drinks. Or no, don't. Nodo clone walks over. At least with Nodo.
Master. I have brought refreshments.
Please, you are guests on the ship. Help yourself.
Yes.
As for distributing this type of technology, that would be more of a future discussion. I won't say it's out of the realm of possibilities, but I'm not one to share my designs.
I understand. Lots of the tech in the Order fallen into the wrong hands could cause some real bad things to happen.
Daryl, as he just kind of looks at this, says he does mention he wants to get a look at the reactor since it was mentioned.
You did see that this thing was running off of
above
nuclear
table.
fission.
Yeah.
Above table, could he not just give him the basis? Like, he doesn't have to tell him how everything exactly worked. Like, he'd be like, hey, here's the basis. Figure the rest out because, do it your way. This is mine.
No, Abe doesn't care.
No, it's my intellectual property. You can't have it.
My intellectual property. I'm not gonna share it.
I'd be like, okay, you trade me that technology for this technology.
See, Abe does not work very well with quid pro quo. He works very well with, I don't trust anybody having my tech because I don't know what they're going to do with it.
Very much the same with Daryl.
And the Order.
And the Order in general, yes.
Yes. By the way, I want this particular part edited out specifically, Dare. Reasons why. Put it this way. I'm just letting you two kind of naturally roleplay it out. At least, but basically, Daryl gets a look at the engine, and proceeds to basically kind of look it over and said, looks good, could be running better though. I don't have the tools and knowledge. I don't have the tools and stuff.
Yeah, but I can't roleplay that because I myself am not as smart as Dare.
I would also not show him the engine. I would show him the power sources, but not the
generators?
actual thrusters.
Oh, not my bad. I meant to say the reactors.
Oh, the reactors. Yes,
it runs on a cursed
that's
sword.
That's what I meant.
Yeah, I'll show them the reactors. I already know those have to be. Those are only running at 30% efficiency right now.
Not to mention that they have the exact same kind of tech. Of the reactor.
Let me finish. Basically, again, roleplay down stuff, but having basically mentioned my kin, go visit my kin and stuff at the Lonely Mountain. They would be able to help.
That'll be once we get to the reactors.
Yeah. Roleplay.
I have a better name for the Lonely Mountain. The Tiberossian Mountains. Tiberos.
There's a singular mountain. There's a singular fucking mountain.
It's one mountain. That's
all right. The Tiberossian Mountain.
Lonely Mountain.
Thank you.
The Mountain of Tiberos.
Typically called just the Lonely Mountain. Okay, can you open up the map real quick? Just so I can point this fucker out.
You've pointed this fucker out before. It's this guy right here.
Give me 5 seconds for it to load in.
Mount Tiberos.
No, not that fucker.
Uh-uh.
You see Cogtown?
This fucker.
That motherfucker. The
Mount
big one.
Tiberos. This guy's also pretty damn big. Your world is freaking massive, dude. Both of these mountains are bigger than freaking Everest.
Yeah, we've already discussed the scale of this fucking world. It's insane.
Then again, when you think of the massive creatures in this world at work.
Yeah.
It fits. And with the massive speed of the Seraphim, it makes sense to have a big ass world. Because we can cross from one side of this country, from the Platinum City all the way to the Encore Reef, or the Encore Pit, as it should be named, in about 6 hours.
6 hours, I'd say.
On foot, it'd take a month.
I'd
No,
say
more like
that
years.
instead of
More like
6
years.
hours, I'd say maybe 6 days.
Okay, fine. 6 days.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Your generators are quite efficient. Good use of that cursed sword, by the way.
No, I wasn't
Where'd you
about
get
to
the
hold it
idea?
myself.
Where'd you get the idea for that?
To be honest, it works similar to a forge, except I don't need a fuel source because it's an ever-burning fire sword. So I use it as a constant thermal energy source.
That's brilliant. That honestly sounds like something my kin would come up with. Speaking of which, there's a place over in...
What's the name of the big green spot?
Platinum Nation. It's in the Platinum Nation territories.
In the territories of the Platinum Nation, there's a single lonely mountain. Mount Tiberos. It's where many of my kin live. If you go there, they're not affiliated with the Order. And they're starting to figure out some of our technology. I've not been giving them anything. If they want anything from me, they gotta join up. But they're a bit more looser with their technology. If you want some real peers to toss some ideas back and forth, because the contract we signed were temporary pairs. You want some real pairs? Go there. He'll be happy to throw some ideas at you.
At the same time, I'd like to talk with you again. I think in the future it could be very beneficial for us to be partners.
I've dedicated my life to the Order.
Oh, I didn't say you have to leave it.
I know. I'm not strong enough to be a hunter, but if you're willing to let an old man be a little more...
What's the word I'm looking for? It's when you're it's not reminiscent. It's some
Nostalgic.
nostalgic. Yeah.
Oh, nostalgic. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
If you'd let an old man be a little nostalgic. I'd like it if you'd consider coming up with a few things that would help the Order. You're clearly a well-traveled person with knowledge lost to a lot of us. You don't have to give us anything groundbreaking, but help would be appreciated. There's a lot of people out there that the Order just can't reach. It's a big place, our world. There are places and corners of this that we just can't reach.
Abe's going to like put his hand to his ear as he's just like, Nodo, bring me a pair of the boots and one of the hook gauntlets.
A Nodo clone proceeds to OG Nodo,
Mhm.
Captain Nodo proceeds to walk in carrying a small, basically carrying those things in his hand as he walks over.
Hello, sir.
Here's what I'll do for now. I can't give you anything serious, but I can give you these. These boots are built to cushion falls at least 60 feet. Alright? Well, more than that, I can't guarantee they'll do much, but they'll at least lessen the impact. They will also launch you that high. This gauntlet is also an improved version of the grapnel, the grappling hook that Michaeleen came to me with.
With these a standard kit.
Then make them
It'd help.
the new standard kit.
Yes. It'd help keep our boys alive. And it'd help keep them... It'd help make them more efficient at keeping others safe. That's the whole point of the Order, you know. We
Trust me.
fight those things that others can't. Well, for your help and for your expertise, name any sort of creature part that you might end up needing, and I'll see if I can't scrounge something up for you. After all, the hunters come back with quite the bounties.
Anything in
About that.
particular?
So there's a lot. There's a lot. To be honest, I didn't know if we were going
that
to.
will be up for the DM's discretion, whatever Daryl is able to give you.
Put it this way, right now, Dare, I'll allow you to ask for one monster part in particular right now to start with. Kain, as you're looking around, you kind of get tapped on the shoulder. Okay, as you get tapped on the shoulder, you see that a tabaxi has tapped you on the shoulder, wearing adventuring kit, with what looks like to be an S stock and a short sword, or put it this way, S stock version of a short sword.
Are they a
on his
youthful
hip.
tabaxi or an old tabaxi? Like young, like teenage?
They seem to be similar age to Michaeleen, maybe a touch older.
I was gonna say, hey, it looks like someone's trying to be Michaeleen. But no,
Is
I'm not gonna
this
say that
the
now.
same guy that was talking to Michaeleen earlier? Thadwick.
Thadwick.
All right,
Names have not been exchanged yet.
I'm gonna turn around and look at this tabaxi. Can I help you?
You are traveling with Michaeleen, yes?
Yeah.
Any chance? And would you be interested in a sparring match to practice?
I can certainly try. My type of fighting isn't sparring, but I can give it a shot.
What? Someone as large as you who can and do a sparring match?
No, I'm gonna go and pull the great sword out of my body and jab it into the ground. No, it's killing.
Ah. I see. Oh, guess you can always make some improvement then. And train hall's this way. As he proceeds to start walking towards that direction, very much you're getting contempt and sharpness in his words. He's being civil and polite. You two proceed to go proceed to go into the training hall, and you guys he opens up the doors for you and lets you enter.
I'm going to walk in. Are there spectators?
No one seems to be in the training hall. The training hall seems to have a couple of dummies centered around, and there seems to be a section of the floor that seems. Actually, I'm gonna say most of the floor. There's like a little bit of a wooden strip, and then the rest of the floor seems to be matted to some degree, so that when you hit the ground, it doesn't hurt as bad.
I go check out the dummies.
You're on the ship.
Bruh. Okay.
Yeah, Michaeleen is, I think, in town, or at least on his way back.
Mm-hmm.
You're out with Dare on the ship.
Mm-hmm.
All that's left here is me.
Yeah. So this will proceed again. This is gonna it is gonna be combat, but it's more so just gonna be at faster pace, so not gonna be turn order, just you and me rolling back and forth against each other. Other with this, heads up. But basically, as you'll hear enter and stuff, he walks in behind you, closes the door, but then you hear a click. It's loud and obvious for your hearing. Again, hunting instinct. You immediately get the feeling of stuff, something's up. And stuff. I'm gonna say you maybe like 10 feet in front of him, standing on the mats. Looking away from him. How to react?
I guess my parasite tendrils will come out blocking vital back, just in case what happened was an arrow shot or some shit.
Okay then. As you hear the click, you hear a few footsteps. You hear a quick few, like 2, 3 quick footsteps. Does 18 hit?
No.
Okay. As you hear a quick few steps, your tentacles, you move to the side and dodge. Your tentacles also push the blade away. But all of a sudden, stuff, you see an S-Talk blade and stuff that was going to shiv you in the back. Achilles, move to the side. As you see the dudes in full-on stride position.
Man, that's a shot. At least start fairness a little bit. Like, damn.
Yeah, Thadwick's kind of a dick.
Oh, you aren't fair. I thought you were more of a beast. So I'm treating
Yeah, but I was expecting a sparring match, not to get stabbed in the back.
The 16 hit?
No.
Okay. He proceeds to immediately pull back. I can do another thrust towards you and stuff with a bit more of a slash.
Can I try to grapple the blade with the tendrils?
Sure, try. D20.
Would that be a strength check?
Sure.
That's a 14.
You fail. Ale, you try to grab it with the tendrils and stuff. He immediately pulls back and stuff in return. I presume 22 hits?
Yeah.
Good for that. Okay.
What does that sound?
7. You take 7 points of piercing damage. As he retreats and stuff, he goes in for a retort, and I'm guessing he cuts one of your tendrils off as it hits the ground. And
It's just gonna hit the ground and just slither back.
I see. Well,
I'm going to
Well-
turn. I'm gonna turn and just swing with the sword. If he's going for cheap shots, I'm gonna go for a cheap shot.
okay. Dex check.
Yeah, does a There's a 21 hit.
21. You manage to catch his arm. You basically managed. You didn't paw it off anything, but you dealt a massive cut along like the top layer and stuff, and he's just bleeding down it now. So, oh,
Hold on, I gotta find the. Oh, that's
one moment, please. Gotta go pee.
Full disclosure, if the Mirage Chamber was working, this would totally be in the Mirage Chamber and to the death.
Oh yeah, that'd be great, but it wouldn't be able to properly deal with my abilities, would it?
Oh, yes, it would. Anything you can do in real life, you would be able to do in the Mirage Chamber. Anything you'll go into the Mirage Chamber with, your incorporeal illusionary body that your senses are being transmitted through, anything you can do, anything you bring with you, any sort of consumable item.
For some reason, I can't find the info on the weapon. Somebody help me.
Un momento, por favor.
Didn't you send it to me last week, Michaeleen?
Yes, the Giant's Cleaver. Weapon, great sword. Trait, requires attunement. Description, the Giant Cleaver is a massive, brutal greatsword designed for those who favor strength and raw power. Its blade is thick and heavy, just like my dick.
Where's the thing for it? I can't find the.
Yes.
Gonna read.
Let me paste it here.
I had it. I don't know where it went.
D&D sessions chat.
Thank you, Guts.
It is the second from the bottom, because Michaeleen's Phantom Blade is right underneath it.
Thank you. Do. I forget I have the whistling arrow.
Can I just say, I'm very happy that I'm not actually like rolling physical dice on my end, because I've just been rolling around just for fidgeting past the time, and I have rolled so many fucking ones like in a row. It's genuinely fucking stupid.
I have a question.
That's always concerning.
The DM takes 32 probability damage.
I literally rolled like triple ones, like twice. It's so dumb. Oh god.
Okay, I have a question.
Yes.
So, excuse me. I have the whistling arrow. Now, couldn't that just be used while I'm using another weapon? Because it takes no hands to use, and I can definitely whistle while I'm swinging a sword.
Yeah, I think it would be similar to a summon, at least. So basically, you let go, and then it would basically go after your turn, and basically you're just directing it to where to move. So the way it attacks and does stuff is basically you tell it to go from point A to point B, and if there's something in the way, it has to make a dex check, and if it fails it, it takes damage.
Cool. So I'm gonna roll the damage for quick.
Right, yeah. You cut his arm.
That's 12 damage. Slashing.
12 damage. Okay.
And then Kane's gonna pull out the whistle from chest, eat it into the air, and let it do its thing.
The arrow proceeds to like twist and turn through the air and stuff. You give it a little whistle. All of a sudden, it stops mid-spot and points directly directly at your target. I'm guessing you practice with that a little bit.
Okay, now I'm gonna
I haven't looked at that myself, so.
I haven't used this a lot, but it is actually it can go through multiple targets. So the arrow is gonna go in. I'm gonna do my thing. That is. What would the bonus be to hit with that thing?
We'll say dex, since it is a ranged weapon.
Yeah.
Whistling
That was a
arrow.
very bad choice for you. That's a 17 now.
Who has the rapier of light?
Nobody knows.
I think none of y'all picked that up.
No, we took everything. We just
Oh.
never decided who got what. I know I got the arrow and the two swords. Wait, no, I had the giant cleaver before going. No, I got the giant cleaver there. Because I took the one sword because Michaeleen gave it depression.
The bleeding sword, yeah.
Michaeleen gave that damn thing depression, and now
No,
it's
I didn't
weaker.
give it depression. Michaeleen just said it was a cursed item, and then Eiko started bad mouthing
Eiko
and
gave
then
it depression.
Michaeleen just pointed out that it was a cursed item.
Eventually, it was better. But I'm going to.
Can we say that
Oh yeah.
Michaeleen got the rapier of light?
I mean, we could definitely talk about it because you're the only rapier. Unless for some reason Jawbone's gonna start wielding it.
I think Jawbone would end up using it as a toothpick.
Yes. But use that shit to pick fruit from the ground.
You take 8 damage. Piercing.
8 damage. Piercing? Okay. And you didn't add your proficiency bonus, correct?
I did not.
Good. You're not proficient with it yet. I was just double checking, and you're not supposed to add it to damage anyways.
Okay.
Good. Okay, then 8 points of damage. And then I'm double checking the whistling arrow myself to make sure.
I did not see anywheres where any of that to use it would take an extra action or anything.
Oh, again, we can just chalk it up as a bonus action to deploy.
Yeah, just yeet and then go.
Yeah. Again, he has on a quiver, at least, so.
Yeah, for Yondu, it's just quivering and it's out.
Yeah.
Doesn't he keep it on the side of his hip?
Yeah.
Yeah, and a little holster. But yeah, I'm gonna start doing that from now on.
Anyway, well, put simply at least, the arrow goes through. He dodges his side, but it does shoot through his arm. No, I'm gonna say his side this time. Amelie is going to use one of his abilities to disengage you without provoking opportunity attack. So he puts about 15 feet between you and him.
Okay.
And
I gotta go look at.
he will, anyway, as he gets the distance up, he'll proceed to reach into his he'll proceed to reach into one of his back pouches and pulls out what looks like to be a small bundle of something as he basically pops it in his mouth out and basically just kind of just pulls on one end, kind of like a piece of candy and stuff. So where
So what is healing?
Gotcha. So he pulls
Who
out some.
heals in a spar?
The spar are. He's been going to try to draw blood on you, and you've drawn blood on him. So this may not be a spar at this point. But basically, he pulls out something similar to this, but a touch bigger, like classic little piece of candy with something. Sticks in his mouth, pulls it out, and you see him proceed to heal. He stops bleeding as much.
Typically, a spar is to first blood.
Which technically would have been him, but
yeah,
Thadok's kind of a sore loser.
Yeah, and this isn't really a spar at this point.
So I'm gonna cripple his ass.
Break his leg.
I'm definitely.
No, literally break his leg.
Yeah. I'm looking at. Nope, not that page. So.
Well, remember, it's still his turn.
Yep.
Free action to pop the healing herb. Well, healing.
What are the spells again?
Free action to pop healing. Reaction to do movement. Bonus action, he is going to grapple towards you. Grapple towards you and do a bit of a basically zip charge. With one of those wrist grapples. Apple's closing the distance. And he's going to be thrusting forward and stuff with his S-Stock.
Okay, I'm gonna just.
I am not joking about this in any sense of the way.
Your deck is too dark to fucking see. Oh. Okay.
That's a natural fucking 20. But yeah, he proceeds to nail you. Oh, you directly solid, like, right pec. Right pec and stuff. Nowhere near.
Ow.
So basically, he darts away using his ability, pops a heal, proceeds to shoot a grapple hook like into the rafters and pull himself forward, releasing it, and then stabs with S-Stock into chest.
Does this guy just copy Michaeleen?
Sounds like it. Alright, well. Is his blade still in my chest?
Yeah, he, like, you kind
Cool.
of arch back.
I'm gonna try to grapple it again. With the tendrils. That is strength added to it. So let's take a 21. So does it grab it?
21.
Okay.
He's gonna make an acrobatics check to against that. So I have to be at 21.
Then again, he could also just relinquish the blade. He has a second one.
I know, but his fine style is dual wielding. Actually, you don't.
Now, is this a magical blade with attunement or anything?
The blade is silvered, so it actually is dealing proper damage to you.
Cool. Instead of doing that, I'm just gonna let it pop into my body.
You sure you want to do that?
Into my bag of holding?
Which is your body.
You sure you want to do that?
I asked you if it was a magic item with attunement.
It's silvered.
But no, okay, above board. There's a massive penalty if you do that. Do you want to do that? You have full free will, but if you do,
How is there a penalty for it? I'm confused.
put it this way: if you do it, you will have to roll up a new character.
How does
Guaranteed.
that work?
You have a bag of holding for a stomach. If their inner lining gets punctured, you will die due to being physically a part of your body.
I
Bag of
literally store a massive fucking sword inside of my body. And not to mention, my body is not a physical object unless I deem it so. The only reason it's physical is because over time and training, I've focused it to where I can form form.
But you ate a bag of holding to gain the ability of the storage stomach.
Yes.
If he carries his own sword, which is bigger than he is, in his stomach,
Exactly.
I'd say a much smaller S-stock sword, silvered or not, would probably go into that interdimensional space just the same.
Because that was a bag of holding that could hold, like, well over 5 deers worth of meat.
Okay, fuck.
Okay, instead of killing him outright, because it's silvered and silvered things would probably, you saying it does actual damage, give him sort of like indigestion and give him disadvantage on his next roll.
Okay.
That's the word. That's probably should be the best.
Yes.
I do still have an advantage roll from the last session.
Yes. Well.
So I just canceled that out.
Okay. Well.
I could let it pass this one and keep my roll.
Well. Okay.
It's also getting really late, guys.
Yeah.
I was about to say, yeah, like.
Okay. You know what? How about this? Instead of eating it and put it this way, I'll backpedal a bit. After he plunges the sword anew, he proceeds to backflip off, at least, and simply goes. You take another swing, about to take his head off and stuff. He drops his sword and stuff, and says, "Yield." You manage to control yourself enough to not kill him outright, but barely.
I'm gonna leave a nice gash. Not deep enough to, sever anything, but he gets a scar now.
Yeah, not too a deal. As he proceeds to basically pick his sword up and just walk out of it as if nothing happened.
Oh, that was interesting.
I will say, as he is walking in back into the main hall and stuff, Michaeleen, you and you walk in at this point, seeing him walking, and you notice his very fine clothes look to be a bit tattered. Particularly a hole running clear through the front and out the back of his coat, along with a large slash down his from the top of his shoulder down.
Are you talking about Thadwick or me?
Thadwick.
And not to mention the giant gash on his neck.
More of a thin cut and stuff, which he already has applied a healing salve to and is healed.
Man, that was supposed to leave
that
a
it went
scar.
across both of his collarbones, not
Yeah.
around over his neck.
Yeah.
Michaeleen is going to go over to the contract counter and basically
Man, not even gonna
report-
check who's fighting.
He basically, if Thadwick's walking away with those kinds of injuries, whoever he was fighting probably ended out better than he did. So Michelin's non 2+. I think it'd be more funny if Kain was like, "You know who that guy is?
What guy?
That guy just fought."
Wait, you fought Thadwick?
Yes.
Yeah, we're
Whatever.
gonna do that. Kane's gonna walk out, see Michaeleen and be like, "Do you know that bastard?"
Ooh, Thadwick?
Yeah, he takes
Yeah.
cheap shots. He
Oh,
asked
fuck.
for a little spar, and I just walked in. I hear a click, and next thing I know, a blade's coming at my back.
Thadwick has always been like that.
Jawbone.
Have you?
Yes.
Have you?
Background noise.
Shit. Sorry.
I don't hear any back now.
Have you
Okay.
spoken with Commander Valheim today?
No, I've been looking for her. Last night
Why
was
would
fun.
you have been looking for Commander Valheim?
Last night was fun.
Wait, so you
Pulls up my shirt and shows my back. And all the
You do know how old she is, right?
no,
Never came up.
never came up.
She is 85 years old.
And I'm 425 right there. There.
There.
426.
26. 426. Technically.
Didn't time go faster for you in the Shadow Realm?
No, it was a full 400 years.
Hmm.
The entire time of this world building up to what it was, Abe built his stuff. I was fighting for survival and claiming territory.
Huh. Now I feel like I need to go tell Commander Valheim that that's usually the other way around. Anyway.
But I have the mind of a 25-year-old. When I was over on the other 26-year-old, when I was on the other side, things were a lot different. I was not who I am right now. If you saw that and this, you would want to run away from that. That is a monster of untold death.
Anyway, Micheleen is going to go over to the contract counter and request an audience with Commander Valheim. The proper way to do that.
Oh. As you're as they're about to pull the paperwork out and get out, both of you who suddenly feel a presence standing behind you.
If it is Commander Valheim, does she sort of grab Kain's ass?
Not really. She just kind of stands behind both of you.
Nah. But hello.
Morning.
Morning.
Afternoon at the. And I hear you will for me.
Yep.
Yes. Well, I came looking for you for the. Well, you wanted to test me to see if I still have my metal.
Of course.
He wanted to see if you wanted to grab lunch later.
As he looks over at Kain and gives him a sly wink.
Also, I had a question. Did you leave this with me? I'm gonna take the sailor's cap off and just. It's familiar. It appeared I woke up with it. It was kind of just there.
She simply just shrugs. No clue.
And I don't know if Michaeleen's gonna tell about the whole 426 thing, but
Commander Valheim, I know you're the type that likes to freak younger men out, but I think you're the one that's going to be freaked out. My friend here is apparently over 400 years old.
She kind of raises an eyebrow. You don't look like an elf.
426 to be exact.
Her-
Long story short, was pulled into another realm for 400 years, and Abe dragged me back out.
So, Feywild. Okay.
No, but kinda.
Yeah. And it's not the first time I fuck someone older than me and stuff. Again, Michaeleen, you know how I am. I've danced with plenty of elves and other things.
I have a feeling that Skinny Elf would break. I have a very...
The only one who came close to being able to tie her down was Holviti.
Well, put simply and stuff, that's the reason why they're so fun. That's one of the reasons why she goes for an elf if she sees one from time to time.
break it.
Yeah. They're fun to break. Delicate little elf china set.
Anyway. Well, I think I'm ready to take on the test now.
Oh, good.
And if I pass, and if we can get the Mirage Chamber up and running, I think I'd be ready to take on my Sapphire rank test.
Well, first off, more than ready to start on that. Where is your mechanical friend? And I assume he was on you on the test.
I don't know. I told him he might want to go speak with the
I'm gonna speak up and say I think he might be outside the city, probably at the ship. Feel a little full.
I see. Well, if you have a way to contact him, we'll let him know. Oh, his presence is required. I'd for a little something.
Just okay. How far is the ship again?
5 miles out.
Oh, yeah, it can't go that far. I was gonna I was gonna attach like a note to the arrow and just.
Is this a good place to stop?
I'd say yes.
Probably.
Sure.
So let's
We're
say,
at
let's
3.5
do an outro.
hours.
Sure.
Let's do an outro, guys.
Oh, so I think I'm just gonna say and stuff. One way or another, either Abe gets contact, everyone comes back, and we can go off from there.
This is Kain. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for all your support. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Kain out.
Remember to like and subscribe.